Energy efficiency gains in commercial buildings. Plateau. Energy efficiency gains in commercial buildings are hitting a wall. Most commercial buildings have captured the easy wins. What comes next costs more, delivers less, and requires a capital conversation most facilities teams are not yet having. Standard building efficiency upgrades are delivering smaller returns than they did 5 years ago. For facilities managers who have already installed LED lighting, upgraded HVAC systems, and deployed building automation controls, the next dollar of efficiency investment is producing a fraction of what it once did. According to analyses of Energy Information Administration (EIA) data, including findings discussed by the American Council for an Energy Efficient Economy (ACE), the energy intensity, energy use per square foot, of U.S. commercial buildings has decreased by roughly 12% to 30%, depending on the specific subsector and timeframe, between the early 2000s and recent surveys. That progress is real and hard-won. It has also exhausted most of the low-cost, high-yield opportunities that drove those gains. What remains is harder, costlier, and delivers thinner margins. Why commercial buildings reach energy efficiency ceilings. Buildings don't reach a hard physical limit, but they do reach an economic one. Once envelope improvements, lighting retrofits, and HVAC upgrades have been completed, the remaining gains come from systems that require more capital, longer payback periods, or continuous operational management. Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory has documented this pattern across commercial building stock. Buildings that started from high baseline consumption see strong initial returns on efficiency investment. Those that have already been upgraded once tend to show only 5% to 8% further improvement potential before deep retrofits or electrification projects are required. For many facilities teams, those figures no longer clear internal capital hurdle rates. What DOE Better Buildings data shows about long-term participants. The Department of Energy's Better Buildings program tracks energy intensity across thousands of participating organizations. Their most recent progress data shows a consistent pattern. Long-term participants who have invested steadily over the past decade see annual improvement rates that have slowed from an average of 2.2% to under 1% in recent years. Part of this slowdown reflects genuine success. Buildings that have invested consistently have captured most of what standard retrofits can offer. But a separate factor is also at work: rising baseline loads from plug loads, IT equipment, EV charging infrastructure, and occupancy-driven demand. Those loads are growing faster than efficiency retrofits can offset them, and they often aren't reflected in the project analysis that justified the last round of upgrades. Retrofit economics under current grid conditions. Grid conditions have changed the math on building retrofits in ways most project analyses don't fully capture. Commercial electricity rates in several U.S. regions and specific states have risen over 15% to over 25% over the past 3 years, 2023-2026, with national average commercial prices rising over 10% in just the last year as of February 2026, according to the EIA. That increases the dollar value of each unit of energy saved, but it also raises the cost of the electrification upgrades required to reach the next performance tier. Heat pump systems, induction equipment, and EV charging infrastructure are standard next steps in building decarbonization plans. Each increases electrical load. For buildings in markets with grid congestion, demand charge exposure, or time-of-use rate structures, the efficiency gains from eliminating gas combustion can be partially or fully offset by demand charge penalties and peak pricing. Facilities teams need to model these trade-offs before committing capital. The measurement problem. Hiding the plateau. Many organizations are measuring efficiency performance in ways that obscure the slowdown. Weather normalization, occupancy adjustments, and changes in building use can make flat or declining performance look like continued progress. If your building's energy use intensity has been flat for 2 consecutive years, and your occupancy and operating hours haven't changed, that is not neutral information. It likely means your existing systems have stopped improving, and you haven't yet invested in the upgrades that would move the number. Knowing the difference between a plateau and stagnation is the first step in making the right capital decision. What facilities managers need to prioritize going into summer. The efficiency plateau is not a reason to stop investing in buildings. It is a reason to be precise about what efficiency investment can and cannot deliver on its own. Facilities leaders facing capital allocation decisions in 2026 need to separate two questions that are often conflated: what reduces energy cost and what reduces energy risk. On-site generation, battery storage, demand flexibility programs, and grid interactive building controls address risks that efficiency retrofits cannot. They provide protection against rate increases, demand charges, and supply disruptions. The facilities teams getting ahead of this are not abandoning efficiency. They are reframing what the category includes, and they are adjusting their capital allocation accordingly. You've been listening to Sustainability Soundbites by Environment and Energy Leader. For partnership opportunities, please reach out to our team.